now. I will dance, I will sing to be mad for my king. Nothing, Lord, is hindering this passion in my soul.
I just wanted to hear you guys' story and hear your thoughts and some of the. It's great to see all the paperwork out back there. That's fantastic. No, I just wanted to hear about the church, and I would say, give me a short synopsis of the history of the church. If you could define it maybe in one word and then a story to follow that word, what would you say?
Let's put our hands together now, Metro.
For me, it's been life-saving,
Okay.
spiritual life-saving. I was a very new Christian, just months when I came here, and the people have helped me to grow all through the years and allowed me to help in the church and help others and encourage that.
Mm-hmm.
When did you come here, Sister Betty? Sister Jean. Do you remember?
In 1964.
Okay. Was it here or was it at the other building?
Well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that. It's probably 1965 because Bob was born in '64, and then my daughter was born in December of '65, and so it was before she was born while we was here. So it was in there somewhere. So that was probably '65. Yeah, I come from Barberton Church of Christ. That's where I was baptized. And Richard McDowell was the minister there. It's been a long time ago. But Don Nickerson was the minister here. And he was here even till after the church was built and we got into the church. He was here a while after that. I can't remember exactly when he left, when he retired, but he was very, very good and helpful and encouraging. And he had been a friend of the family, the Thomas family, and even a neighbor of theirs. But it's been good for me.
Let's put our hands together now, Metro.
Well, I have been a member almost all my life. I was baptized here at the age of 9 and have been coming ever since. Unfortunately, my memory is not very good, and I can't remember a lot of what went on. But me and my family have been members here all our life.
What year did you start coming?
I was brought as a baby, so I was born in 1936.
And your brother is a Timothy.
Yeah, my brother, right. My brother was a Timothy here. He went into the ministry for a while.
Missionaries that you work with, you and friends?
My husband Frank and I were, especially Frank, were forwarding agents for Bill Grant, missionary who Bill was a Timothy from here. He went into the as a missionary to Africa. My husband Frank was a forwarding agent for many, many years for him. until they came back to the States. I don't remember what year that was. My children remain Christians. My son's active at the Lakeview Church of Christ, and my daughter is attends a church in Maryland. So I'm very thankful for that. That's all I have right at the moment.
Let's put our hands together now, Medford.
Well, my memory's not too good either, but I went to the old church when it was on 17th Street. Right about the time they were thinking about building this one. And my church before I was married was Pentecostal. So coming into the Church of Christ, I had a lot of adjustments to make. But I loved the church after I got into it. I enjoyed the people. Each one made an impression on my life through the years, good or bad. But I was very shy. I was introvert, I guess you could call it. I just wouldn't talk to anybody. I more or less kept to myself. But after a while, they built this church, and it was like starting over. And eventually I did get rid of my shyness. Of course, everybody knows that. I'm kind of forward sometimes, but as far as the church concerned, it was a lifeline, you know, to everything that happened in my life. It always went back to the church. The church was always there, pretty much. And there was some faithful people that really meant a lot to me. And it's just like any other church. We've had our troubles, but we manage, you know, to get over them and try to start again. So it's just been a lot of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change it for nothing. I enjoyed every minute of it, even if it was sad or whatever, because I learned from that too. So I appreciate every person that came into my life through this church, and I'll stay here as long as I can.
Clearly, it was a fruitful church. I mean, it's contributed to every one of your lives, your brother, the Timothy, and whatever ministry work he would have done, and others. How many Timothys of the church has there been?
How many Timothy's what?
Timothy.
How many Timothys have come from this church?
I have a list of them over there. I couldn't
Really?
tell you offhand, but I have them over there.
But there have been several.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
See, that's fruitful. That's the church having been fruitful and having done its work over the years. I know Charles has a lot of nice things to say about the church, and you ladies especially, and Dennis had nice things to say. No one's had bad things to say about you guys.
They wouldn't dare.
But I don't think they would. I don't think they would. What is your dream for the church, for what's left, for what the future could hold here? What would you love to see in a perfect world? What would you love to see remaining here?
For something to continue. That's one reason we made the decision that something else would come in and grow and be more popular in the, I guess you want to call it that, in the neighborhood. Because I think the old church, we did reach out, you know, in the beginning. But as we went on and on and on, we just, you know, lacked at doing things. But I want to see something come in that God would be proud of, and this neighborhood would be proud of. So that's all I can do is just leave it up to Him.
See the community be impacted.
Yes. because I think that's one thing we really need right now anyway.
Pat drove me around quite a bit of just the area and what's there. And, you know, you can weigh effective ministry out in a variety of ways. And one of the things that, as a leader, I've learned to ask over the years is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, no matter what's happened, is you have to ask, okay, God, what are you doing now? Like with what's happening, how is God behind this? If we truly believe that God is sovereign, how can we really understand that God is working? I don't know what, but I know He is. Our job as Christians is to just really pursue where He is and really try to identify, okay, God, what are you doing? How can I be a part of this? And what can we do? But, you know, Scripture is very clear that we are to be fruitful, so how can we be fruitful with whatever God is doing? You know, you guys have it. You guys have a terrific testimony. You're overcomers. You ladies have been through a lot. You've overcome, and you're still here, and you're still consistent. That says volumes about your character. What do you think anybody who would ever ask about the church, what do they need to know? If you could share something with somebody just about the church, your hopes for it, what you've been through, what would you love to share?
Let's put our hands together now, Metro.
The people love Jesus, the people that are here. And it's all about Him.
All become more.
And that He loves everybody. Jesus loves everybody, even them.
Just, I'm a blessed man. Over the last now 6 years, to be here, and I fight, and I inwardly I fight every day to try to keep this going, because of these faithful women and the people that I come to know that has gone on to be with the Lord in these few short years, who are faithful. It just shows me that that we need to be faithful unto death. And the other thing I think of Brother Trevor is that, you know, we get caught up in numbers, and I believe that God has placed me here as the minister, albeit interim or whatever, to be able to bring God's a message of love and kindness and His grace and mercy, and to keep presented that to these ladies and to these elderly folks, because we're all just one step away from being the glory. We're all just one breath away from being the glory. Mm-hmm. And as long as we have that in the forefront of our minds, our spiritual minds, and my job is to try to strengthen not only myself, but to strengthen them, because our home is not here. And no matter, I keep reiterating with them all the time that, you know, regardless of what's going on around us, our home is not here, and our faith is bigger than anything that we can even remotely ask or think about. Heaven is greater than all of it. Heaven rules. And so I'm just grateful that God has used me through Noah over the years, because this was the last place I thought I was going to be at. You couldn't have told me 7 years that I would be sitting right here right now. I've been in several other churches with the history with Noah and with Brother Pat, and I've been in this position, in the leadership position, with several other churches. Some have failed. A few of them have continue on, but this one is really special because I didn't see this coming, and I came here just to help, you know, just to help out from time to time, and now I'm here on a regular basis. And if that's not God working in my life and working in their lives, I don't know what is. So, you know, when I sit back and look at everything that's happened, I'm the better man. You know, I receive more from them. I think in my life, I receive more from them in my life because I know that they're praying for me, and certain things have happened since I've been here, and I know it was the saints who prayed for me, and that we're supposed to be where we are right now. Yeah, my dream is to see children running around in this room, make a whole bunch of noise. We all want that, and maybe we'll all live to see it, and maybe we won't. I don't know, but my hope and my dream, whether I see it or not, is that we got to find a way to keep the spirit of the Kenmore Church of Christ, which is now Compass. When I think of Kenmore, I think of Compass. I don't think of two. That's just me, because I came here when it was still the Kenmore Church of Christ. You know, I came here and I spoke. I don't know if you all remember, but I came here and spoke on about half dozen occasions 15, 20 years ago, before it became Compass, and I knew that this church was important to this community, and it still can be, Brother Trevor. It still has to be. And yeah, it's fallen on difficult times, but when we fall on difficult times, these are the people who are, as I said jokingly on Sunday, they're the last of the Mohicans. They're still here. You know what I mean? Some have gone on to be with the Lord, but once again, those who went on to be with the Lord, like, you know, Brother Frank and Dorothy Duke, a lady who I don't know, I never met her, but her reputation has helped me to see where this can be through the eyes of these women. They remember her, and they remember when she was the secretary and how faithful she was until the Lord took her off the playing field where she just couldn't participate anymore. So when I have this Bible study class with these ladies, and Miss Jerry, who is not here, but that's a whole nother story that we'll talk about later on, how she comes to be here, it just kind of strengthens my walk and my hope that one day, once again, whether I see it or not, that we will continue on, and that we will find the right young man to come here, and we can revitalize this community with young folks, and to do what the Lord had called us to do. And you know, I said I'm sticking and staying and not going anywhere. You know, there was a lady who's gone on to be with the Lord a couple of years ago, and she used to be the piano player. She couldn't play anymore. Arthritis had gotten there. I'm talking about Mary, and I'll never forget it. She came up to me after the brass group had played. We had a brass group that led the worship, the music service, and she came up to me and she says, "I got one question I want to ask you, Brother Dennis." I said, "What's that?" She says, "Are you leaving? You could be somewhere else. I know a man of your gifts and your talents, and yeah, you could be somewhere else. Are you leaving?" And I said, "No." She says, "Good." She says, "Now I can go and be with the Lord." She was dead 2 weeks later. What do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that, man? You know what I mean? And all these people have encouraged me. You know, to keep digging in the Word, man, and I'm just, I'm prayerful and I'm hopeful, and I know the Lord is going to keep this going on forward, and I'm grateful that Pat hadn't. I don't know how he does it. You know, I don't know how the lights stay on, and I don't know how the heat stays on. I don't know. I don't ask. You know, my burden is to keep my nose in God's Word and try to teach and preach God's Word and do what I can. Sometimes I'm always asking the Lord, what more can I do? Show me what more can I do? And the Lord hadn't showed it to me yet. But that's my hope and that's my dream, man. And you know, and I told my children, who are constantly bugging me, to move to Columbus. You know, my granddaughters want me to move to Columbus with them. And I said, you know, I don't see you guys that often now. So if I move to Columbus, I know I'm not going to see you anymore, because they're all getting older. They're teenagers now, and a couple of them are grown, and they're having their own lives. And I said, well, this is where the Lord has planted me, and they understand that. You know, they understand that this is the work that God has, at least for right now in my life. You know, I'm saying, I don't know what the Lord's got planned, but I do know that whatever it is, man, you know, it's going to be to His glory. And so I'm just grateful, man. I'm just thankful for being here right now. And I know that you know, we're going to be fruitful, and this is a tough stretch for these people to go through. And I said, if they can stick and stay and watch, you know, things dwindle down to just a handful, then you know, who am I to, you know, to jump ship because things are not where we like for things to be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Thank you.
that's my take on it.